I have ranked many things in RimWorld, from weapons to armor to factions and biomes, many things, but today I am ranking the top 20 most popular mods of all time on Steam Workshop that are compatible with the 1.3 updates. So if you want to play with them, you can play with them right now if you haven't checked them out yet. Now, every ranking is of course slightly subjective. I can never be fully objective over here because of my personal preferences and how I play. So there will definitely be some disagreement and agreement with how I rank. So please let me know in the comments, what do you think about my ranking and what would you put up there in the S tier, what would you put in the F tier. That being said, of course, all of these mods, they are the top 20. They are the S++ tier of all of the mods out there on RimWorld. But since we have to rank them, some of these will be S tier and some of these S++ will be in the F tier. There are two mods that I have excluded from the top 20. That is the Harmony and the Hugslib, basically just because they are mods that just enable the other mods to work, and I prefer to have mods that actually change your game over here. So let's start ranking. First, we have one of my favorite mods ever. We have the Wall Light. It's a tiny, small mod that basically just adds wall lights. I mean, it does what it says it's gonna do. You don't need to build the big standing lamps that are kind of in the way of things. You can just have lights on the walls and it just looks so much better. Of course, it also supports the colored lights, and it even has a small wall sunlight if you want to grow stuff. So it's a really cool small mod, but doesn't do too much. So we're gonna put it out here into C tier. Next, we have EDB Prepare Carefully. This has been a must-have mod forever since I started playing, like in 2014 or 15, whenever I started. This was way before RimWorld was on Steam, and even then this was the mod to have. It basically allows you to customize your colonists and their equipment, their stats, everything before you start the game. It allows you to have, you know, more items if you want to, more resources, pets, and everything you want to do. It's just an amazing mod. It's a must-have mod, S tier. Next, we have RimHUD. This is a small UI mod that basically changes what you can see for your colonists at a glance. It shows you the health bar, of course, but then also the various mood bar and the rest bar and recreation bar and hunger bar. It shows you all of their stats nice and easy, what their passions are. It shows what weapon they have equipped. Basically, it gives you all the information you need about your pawn, basically at a glance when you have them selected, or of course any other pawn when you select them, even if they're not your own. So it is great. It also goes up here in the S tier. Next, we have Replace Stuff. This is a very nice and cool quality of life mod. Basically, if you want to change your wall from being all just wood into all maybe granite, you don't need to deconstruct the wood wall first and then build the granite wall. You can just overlay the granite and your colony is gonna do the rest. They're gonna replace the wooden wall with the granite wall. It also allows you to build stuff over mountains, and your guys are gonna go and mine things out, or over water, and it's gonna add bridges. Basically, whatever you want to do, you can just place stuff. It is really useful to have when you're building your colony, because you're gonna do, of course, a lot of building. It also adds overwall coolers, so you don't need to leave like a hole to cool your fridge or something like that. It is a great mod. We're gonna put it out here into A tier. Next, we have Allow Tool. This is a great small quality of life mod. It allows you to do various things, like by a press of a button you can just unforbid everything on the whole map. So it's really useful when you have like 100 raiders coming at you and you kill them all and they drop like 300 material on the ground of various things and guns and spears or whatever. You can just unforbid everything, and you know, your guys are just gonna go for it. It also has various other things, but most importantly, it has the hold urgently. So you can select items to be hold urgently, and your guys are gonna go and hold them urgently. They're gonna do it right away without your need to click on that item and, you know, while selecting a colonist and tell them, hey, go hold that. It's amazing. It's awesome. Allow Tool should be up here in the S tier as well. Next, we have another small mod. It's called Rim Fridge. Basically, it adds small fridges. You have a small one, so basically just one fridge. You have dual fridge. You have quad fridge. and they also can actually work as hoppers if you need next to the nutrient-based dispenser. It is a great small addition. I've been using it forever, as mostly for my meals, because it's very nice and easy to have one of these set up inside of a wall between your kitchen and your dining room, and so cooks just throw it in there and people who go to eat just grab it out of the fridge and eat. It's really cool and amazing, but again, it's a small mod that doesn't add that much. We're gonna put it out here next to the wall light in the C tier. Next we have Factional War. This basically adds a couple of new events that has nothing to do with you or your colonists. Basically, there's gonna be a friendly faction and a rival faction that are gonna come on your map and just gonna start hitting each other and stabbing each other and fighting each other, and you can use that. You can go and grab some loot, you can help your friendly faction, or you can just ignore them, wait for them to leave, and then you go loot the spoils. There's also other types of events, like they will go and bombard each other with mortars. There might be a faction assault, so one of the rival factions is their base is gonna get assaulted, you can go there and help out or loot stuff, in the chaos. Or they will fight over like some mech loot and stuff like that. It's pretty useful. It adds some type of new events that you can participate in if you want to, and that's the most important thing. And it's cool. Next we have Smarter Construction. Yes, you should be using this mod. It basically tells your colonists not to build themselves into a corner. Imagine that. It's a real plague on vanilla game when they just go build themselves in there, or block something that can't be built anymore. It is great. They will actually use their brains, and I'm all for that. It goes out here in the A tier. Next we have the LWM's Deep Storage. Basically adds a lot of new storage buildings. You have various pallets and boxes and meat hooks and bigger shelves and clothing racks and weapon lockers and many different things, so you don't have just stuff lying around all over your colony. You don't need to build these huge storehouses where you have everything just lying on the floor and you can't tell what is what. This allows you to build very neat and cool looking colony, and we all know it really is important how your colony looks like. This one is really cool. I'm gonna put it out here in the B tier. Next one I really like. It's called RT Fuse, and it kind of mitigates one of the most annoying events in the game, the zzzt event that causes fire and all that. The short circuit is pretty annoying, but with this one you can build fuses or circuit breakers, so whenever that happens you're just gonna take it back and it's gonna be fine. No fire. It's who doesn't know how the fuses work, and how do these guys not know how the fuses work, and why they're not installing them? It's a great mod. I love it. We're gonna put it out here in the B tier as well. Next we have Filth vanishes with rain and time. Basically, after some time, your filth that is out there, like animal filth and all kinds of other stuff, it's gonna just disappear with time, or with rain, or with snow. So it's gonna clean the map for you. Now, I don't really care that much about this mod. I have it installed, I am using it, but it's not one of those that you really think about too much, because this is just gonna clean stuff that is outside. Your colonists are usually more concerned about things being dirty inside their rooms or workshops or something like that, where they spend most of the time. So while it's cool mod, it doesn't do that much. We're gonna put it out here in the F tier. Next we have interaction bubbles. These are great for some role-playing stuff. You can basically read the social interactions between various colonists and what they're doing. It is really cool, and I have recommended this mod a couple of years back in my mod list that I did. It's really cool. I like it. Its only problem is, it's more for like chill roleplay sessions when you really want to see what your colonists are thinking, what they're saying to each other, rather than, long playthroughs where you're playing on like speed 3 and the bubbles just go blah, 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 and you can't even see what they're saying. So it's cool. We're gonna put it out here in the B tier. Next we have heat map. This is basically an overlay that you can press that is gonna show you the heat in your bedrooms and workshops, basically every indoor area. So if it's blue or dark blue, it's gonna be cold. If it's gonna go to warmer colors, it's gonna be hotter. This is quite useful when you're playing on like an ice sheet or something like that, where it's really important that you're keeping that temperature up. But it's a pretty useful mod. We're gonna put it out here in the C tier. Next we have map reroll. Whenever you are choosing the map you're gonna start with, it gives you the options to reroll. If you're not pretty happy, it gives you a preview how it's gonna look. And if you want to, you can, you know, choose different ones from the various previews you have. There is a resource cost when you're re-rolling, but you can also disable that if you don't really want it. So it's kind of cool. I personally prefer to have unknown map when I spawn in. You know, I often go into random, just give me a random map and I'll play however I need to play. It's still a cool one if you really want to go for some specific look of your map. So we're gonna put it out here in the C tier. Next we have Dub's Mint menus. These ones are awesome. It gives you a bunch of like new boxes when you're choosing recipes, and you know, it's got that for all like the crafting recipes. If you want to do a surgery on somebody, you know, you can easily search for, let's say, install a lung or something like that if you need to, or you know, get rid of a lung on somebody. It also really looks cool on the plant selection screen. You know, you have all the plants nicely ordered over there. You can read all about them. It gives you extra things. So it's just an amazing quality of life mod that deserves to be out here in the S tier. Next we have the trading spot. This is a great mod that I've also been using for a long time. It basically allows you to put down a small trading spot, and the Karens that come to your base are gonna hang out there rather than just randomly hang out in the middle of your living room and bringing all the dirt in there or something like that. You can tell them exactly where you want them to be. This can of course be abused, and you can, you know, put them in the fire lines of invading mechs or something like that. It can be abused, but otherwise it's really great mod that you should probably be using. But still, compared to some of these other mods over here, it doesn't do that much. We're gonna put it down here in the F tier. Next we have recipe icons. This basically gives icons next to the recipes, as you might have guessed. So for, let's say, when you're crafting clothing or armor or weapons or meals, or when you're doing prosthetics or anything like that, it's going to be a small icon of how it's going to look. So that's awesome. You can even see from here, you know, cook simple meal, it's a icon of a simple meal next to it. It's gonna also show you the icons for resources when you search for stuff. So it's really cool, small thing, and I really like it. We're gonna put it out here in the A tier. Next we have the expanded prosthetics and organ engineering. So basically this allows you to build and craft so many more prosthetics that basically in just vanilla game, especially way more organs. You can get lots of different synthetic organs that's gonna make your colonist better. This is basically awesome for advancing your colonist, you know, into the late game, where especially if you're playing with many hard mods, you're gonna really need those advanced prosthetics and architect stuff. So of course these are very awesome. I really like it. I have been using it for a long time. It's basically just the upgrade your colonist, and you also get 2 cool workbenches that you can also craft this on. It's a great mod. We're gonna put it out here into A tier. Next we have Share the Load. Basically allows multiple colonists to bring resources to a structure at the same time. In vanilla, only one person can do it at the same time. With this one, multiple people can do it at the same time. So if you have like huge construction projects that need, like one thing needs a lot of resources, this could be very useful. It works especially well with some mods that add like hauler bots or various bots that can, you know, zoom around your colony and do these things for you, and you might have a lot of them. So that works great. It's a really cool mod. We're gonna put it out here into B tier. Last but not the least, we have the CM color-coded mood bar. Basically, the bar for your colonists up top is gonna show like a colored background based on how they're feeling. So red is bad, green is happy, and then you have, you know, various colors in between. And you know, just at the glance you can see that some people might have issues, some people might be happy, and generally how they're feeling. It is very useful and great to have. Also, there's icons on it that you can fully configure and customize. You know, you can have icons, oh, this colonist is bleeding, this colonist is I don't know, has an illness or something like that. So many cool things. It's a really cool mod that I've been using for a while, and I think it deserves to be in A tier. And that concludes my ranking. Once again, let me know in the comments below, what do you agree with for S tier? What do you disagree with? You know, let's say for F tier down below. What would you, switch around? Which mods are the must-haves for you? And probably most of you already are using all of these mods because they're just great. Now, if you haven't seen any of my other ranking videos, there's links up there, there's links below, check it out. Or if you want to talk to me, come join my Discord. Thank you for watching.